Hi everybody, I'm Bradley J and we're in Old San Juan, Puerto Rico. And we're going to discover it today. Are you ready? Come on. Oh, and by the way, you're going to need a hat. Bradley J and Bradley J Travel. Today we discover San Juan, Puerto Rico. When I'm showing you images that require an explanation, I'll give you that explanation. And when they don't, I'll just tell you stories. Arrived at 4 a.m. Weird flight, right? Took a cab, $25 cash. They wanted cash. Arrived at the hotel and couldn't get in. I did not have a reservation and there was no one at the desk. I asked the security guard, hey, can I go in and use your internet to book a room right now? He said, yes, I did. Boom. But I still had to kill a lot of time. Happily, I ran into a retired ophthalmologist and his retired wife, who is also in a medically related field. And we had such a wonderful, substantial conversation, and we kind of became friends. Very pleased about that. The temperature, well, yes, you guessed it, it's hot and humid, but there seemed to be a breeze, a beautiful breeze, even in the middle of the day. And during the evening, the breeze really picked up to actually be wind. Let's talk a bit about the food. I did not run into a lot of food that I liked. Lots of fried food, mofongos, empanadas, and the like, Cuban sandwich, which has a lot of bread in it. I just want some seafood and some fruit. I'm trying to stay healthy. First places I went to upon arrival, a couple of diners, and then later in the trip I managed to get into this place. I had been walking by over and over again, wondering why there was a line, a big long line outside all the time. I asked, they said, oh, this is a great place. Well, one day, the last day, and I won't tell you when, just about the time they opened, there was no line, so I went in. Here you have a pretty good cigar lounge. I didn't smoke a cigar, but I did need a place to hang. So I stayed here for quite a while and had a couple of local beers. Everyone very friendly, and they were in no hurry to have me leave. You certainly could have smoked a cigar or 10 here. They have a wonderful selection. It was not crowded. You got to remember, it was like 10 in the morning for most people. For me, it was late at night because I hadn't slept at all the night before. I had been up many, many hours, over 24 hours. Now, this spot was a special spot for me. It's called La Factoria, and it's kind of a craft cocktail bar. But the drinks were around $11 rather than around 14 or 15, which I'm real good with. And they were great. And they were more substantial than the drinks you'll see in some expensive drink restaurants. I had a mezcal drink that felt good and hefty. On another subject, I was surprised at how few people spoke English. I mean, many did, but many didn't. And I believe I've found a higher percentage of English-speaking people in places like Germany. This place is called Barrachina, and they had pina coladas that were ridiculously cheap. And, I might add, excellent. This is the outside seating area of Barrachina. Okay, now we get to the hotel. The hotel is kind of the star of this video. I'm not going to give you the name of the hotel, and I'm not going to review it. I'm going to show you the common areas of the hotel because they're spectacular. I'm not going to get into the rooms at all. This is where I wandered in early in the morning and met the ophthalmologist and his wife and had the wonderful conversation. By the way, for those of you who do photography with an iPhone, for a pretty low dough, you can get a thing called a gimbal. They're much more advanced now, light and small. And look how smooth you can get your footage even when you're walking. If you have cargo pants, this thing fits right in your pocket. Pretty spectacular exterior, right? And it's run by a woman who I picture to be kind of an Isabella Stewart Gardner person, loosely, kind of. I mean, she has her environment and invites people in, just like Isabella Stewart Gardner did, I believe. There were 4 parrots here, a wading pool. And the owner, she would come in the evening and chat with the guests, hobnob. It has lots of stairs. And it has 2 roof decks, one on top of the other. A roof deck and then a roof deck. I spent a great deal of time up there. On my second night of 2 nights, I stayed up there from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. just relaxing, and it's very hard for me to relax. Old San Juan, very small. And that's a problem because cruise ships are very large. I find cruise ships to be an obscenity. I realize they employ a lot of people, but I still don't like them. On my roof deck, I could see them pull in, and they're so huge, it's grotesque. I really did love Old San Juan. Charming, clean streets, cobblestone streets. I love cobblestone streets. Lots of bars with open windows, a lot of fans, just like you picture it, just like you want it to be. Here's the view from the roof deck of the hotel. And here's the view from the roof deck of the hotel. You can see why I spent so much time up here. It wasn't crowded, but people would pop up every once in a while and I would hang out with them. And here's the view from that same roof deck at night. And here's a charming square where I went to an ATM and picked up some money so I could go to this hat shop. Now there are a number of places you can buy hats, but there are hats and there are hats. And there are hat shops and there's this hat shop. Now, I really am a hat guy, but not an expert on Panama hats. So, I didn't buy anything the first day. I went home and did my research and read reviews where people said they come back every year to get a hat and how they've been coming for a long time and how much they love the place. And they talk about the family and that it's a family-owned business since 1977, I believe. And the service is great. They custom fit it for you, and you get to choose the style and the color of your band. Very custom experience. Again, I'm not an expert on straw hats, so you do your research. But I'll tell you, I loved it, and when I go back to San Juan, I'm definitely going to buy another hat here, and I may even make a special trip to San Juan to do that, to buy a hat. Now here's the finished product. It fits extremely well. It's very, very light. And let's face it, it looks great. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe and click on the bell if you want to get notified of future posts. And of course, travel lightly.